There's an implicit covenant you have, let's say with Google, right? Which is you say to Google, it's okay if you crawl my content and you index me and you show snippets in your search engine if you send me traffic back. Right?
Yeah,
this is how the internet has evolved, right? And why do you want traffic back? Because you have some business model. Maybe it's a free site, maybe it's an ad-based site, maybe it's a subscription-based site, but whatever it is, somehow you have a way to make money on traffic. There's an understanding, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's mutually beneficial.
Mutually beneficial, and occasionally that covenant has been breached. So there was a thing Google does called one-boxing, which is they would take your content and just put it, like I was on the board of Stack Overflow for a long time, and they would do this, where they would take you type in a thing for Stack Overflow, instead of clicking on it, they would just show you the answer and remove the click. They've done that with Wikipedia. They did it with lyric sites.
Yeah, but they did it with Yelp. They did it with travel.
And people get very upset. Or they with Yelp, they promote their own content on top. And so there were issues, but it kind of worked, right? Now, the question in an AI world, right, is if you have these chatbots that just give you, if you go and you say, I want an illustration, and it just generates an illustration, or you say, I want a recipe, and it gives you a recipe. This may be a better user experience, by the way. I'm not against it. I think it's probably better in the end for the users of the internet. But the problem is it breaks the covenant, right? They took this data that, these systems were trained on data that was put on the internet under the prior covenant.
Under the premise that they're going to get traffic back.
That's right.
And they can monetize
That's
it directly.
Right. And that was the premise. And that was sort of the promise, right? Yeah. And now you have a new system which may not send the traffic. In fact, it probably won't. If these things can just tell you the answer, why would you kind of click through? Mm-hmm. And so that's probably where we're headed, is a world where you have sort of 5 big systems, let's call it, 3 to 5 big AI systems. You go to their websites, they give you an answer. And you don't. And so what happens to the billion other websites if they aren't getting traffic is the question, right? And so that's the kind of question I think that I talk about with. So, and I'm surprised / disappointed that I don't see anyone. I feel like I'm the only person I've ever seen talking about
abyss, yeah.
I feel like I'm screaming in the abyss. Like, I'm a little bit surprised that the AI people who it's fine. Like, they took all the data and there'll be copyright lawsuits, and I'm not going to opine on that.
They've done some data deals here and there. But
but like, aren't we a little bit, like, even forgetting about the societal questions, like, and all the small businesses that will be like, don't we worry about the internet? Because I worry about just the internet.
Well,
if you have an internet of 5, companies, and there's just it becomes like TV in the broadcast TV in the 1970s. There's 4 channels. Is that the world we want to live in? Is that a world that's pro startup, pro innovation, pro creativity?
Like a long tail of websites, like that next generation of long tail websites.
Yeah, how do you break out? How do you create new things? So I don't know. So I just worry without thinking it through. And so to me, look, and I'm not saying that I have the only answer to it, or you have to be a crypto answer. I realize for some people that's controversial, but I think that at step 1 is we should say, okay, wait, this breaks all of the incentives of the internet. And step 2 is, is that a good thing? I don't think so. And then, so what is the right answer? And should we create new incentives? And this is why, like, a lot of what I've been trying to invest in and think about has been, okay, like the example I gave with Story Protocol is, like, let's think about new incentive systems to layer on top. Right?
Yeah.